What is going on, everybody? Jay here from Meiigoo and Jay. Today we are unboxing and doing the hands-on of the brand new Meiigoo M1 that came directly from Coolicool.com. And if you guys want to immediately learn more about this device, you can go ahead and check the link that I have provided below. All you have to do is click on it and it'll take you directly into this particular device. If you guys saw my video of the Umi DGC1 Pro, I mentioned that both of them came from the same company and that both of them are supporting the LTE bands here for the USA. Now this is very exciting, guys, because we have other companies that cost twice the price of this one right here, like Meiigoo and Xiaomi, and they still don't support the LTE bands. And now we have these two basically no-name brands that well came with the LTE bands. And again, this is very exciting, at least for me. Here we have again the Meiigoo, and looking at the box, there's something very exciting on this particular box. We just got the logo on here and also the model name, which is M1. And then towards the back, we're going to find some of the quick specifications of the product. It comes with a 5.5-inch Full HD display. Also, we have the Octacore processor, the Helio P20, which is also known as the MTK6757. It comes with two cameras in the back. One of them is a 13-megapixel sensor and an 8-megapixel sensor. And on the front, we have an 8-megapixel sensor camera, which is really nice, and we have 6 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of internal storage. Now currently, if you guys go on the website Coolicool.com, you will find that this device has a price of about $210, but you can get it cheaper with a coupon. And according to these specifications, I will have to say that this is definitely a steal, especially with a 4,000 milliamp battery that I was able to go throughout the whole entire day. And a fingerprint scanner as well as dual flash on the back is definitely great to have those features, especially at this price point. So getting the box open here, we will find that inside we have the Meiigoo, and yes, I have opened it before, as I mentioned, and it comes in this wrapper. And in the wrapper, we also get some of the specifications of the product once again. So removing it from here, we got the Meiigoo M1. Now I have to admit, guys, this is not the best looking device right now in the market. I believe the Umi DGC1 Pro is a lot better looking phone, as we do have the AMOLED display, and for that they were able to make it a lot thinner. And this device is a little bit thicker, and also the back design is not my favorite. But we do have there the dual cameras, as I mentioned before, with the 13 megapixel sensor and the 8 megapixel sensor, the dual flash, the secondary microphone, the Meiigoo logo, and then towards the right side here we have the volume rockers up and down with the power key. Now something I don't like about this is that they are very close to each other, and sometimes you get confused with the volume down and the power key. So to avoid it, all I do is I move my thumb from the bottom to the top until I feel the button, and then I click it. That's the best method that I found that it works the best. On the top, we got the 3.5mm headphone jack, and then towards the bottom here we have the USB Type-C. And even though it does appear that we had dual speakers on here, it's not going to have dual speakers, only going to be one speaker. The other one is just like a little mock-up, maybe for design purposes. But we do have there the main microphone, and then towards the left side here we have the SD card slot. You can also install the memory in one SIM card, or you can do 2 SIM cards at the same time, and they are nano size. And then on the front side of the phone, we got that 8 megapixel sensor camera, the ear speaker, the proximity inline sensor, and also a notification LED light here on the right side. Towards the bottom, we got just the fingerprint scanner. Now this is not going to be a physical button, but instead it's going to give you a haptic feedback every time you press on it. So that's very cool. It's very similar to what we see on the iPhones. The menu key, the home key, and the task killer key are going to be located on the operating system, and unfortunately we can't change it because we don't have the hardware keys here on the bottom side. So setting the phone aside, we have a divider here like many other boxes that we have seen in the past. Actually, most boxes do have these kind of accessories included. We do have here the fast charger. Now this is the European kind, so unfortunately I can't use it in the USA unless I have the adapter, which I do. But if you guys are buying this from the USA, make sure that you tell them to please include the USA charger, and that will simplify things a lot better. So yes, this is a fast charger. We have the USB cable, which is the USB Type-C, as we know already, and that's all we have inside of the box. Keep in mind that the Umi DGC1 Pro came with more accessories, but the price is also higher. This one goes for almost $300, and the Meiigoo M1 is currently about $210, as I mentioned before, and you can get it cheaper with a coupon. So just because of that, we're not going to get many accessories included on here. Also, if you guys want a case, I would definitely recommend getting it directly already from Coolicool.com, as you would get everything together and you don't have to order it afterwards, because if you drop a phone like this, most likely it's either going to bend the frame or the screen is going to crack. Just keep that in mind. Alright guys, so here we are greeted with the lock screen on the Meiigoo M1, and the first thing you can tell is that I do have T-Mobile service on here and that I'm getting 4G LTE connectivity. Now sometimes in this corner of the house I don't understand why, because if I go to my living room, which is not too far from here, I get the 4G LTE connectivity, but right now I only have a 4G connectivity and sometimes it goes down to 3G, and that only happens in this corner, so I do apologize if you guys see that. But anyways, unlocking the device here, let me go ahead and insert my password because I just booted up, and then we're going to test here the fingerprint scanner. So you can have it asleep as it is right now. You just put in your fingerprint. It is not the fastest, but I would say it's a little bit better than on the Umi DGC1 Pro. It's a little bit faster, and I do appreciate that. So again, all the buttons are going to be located on the operating system. We don't have the hardware to have them here on the bottom side like we saw on the Umi DGC1 Pro, so that's a little bit of a cons because I'm not a fan of having the buttons here on the operating system. But the cool news is that we can always hide them by clicking on the arrow and they're gone, but in case you guys need them, all you do is swipe up and they will just reappear. So the operating system here is very, I would say, clean for the most part, meaning that it doesn't have any bloatware on the operating system, but this is not a clean Android theme. As you guys can tell, this is basically a theme from Meiigoo, and we don't have the app tray on here, so I may have to install the Google Now launcher, as I do like it, and you can say Google Now or OK Google, excuse me, and the whole thing will appear, and it makes it a lot easier to use. So it came with the Play Store. Now the reason I like to mention this, and a lot of you guys sometimes criticize me for it, is because of the fact that not every Chinese phone comes with the Play Store. I had the Nubia C17, as you guys know, and it didn't come with the Play Store, and it was a nice higher end device with the Snapdragon 835 and so on, but we didn't have the Google Play. And for you guys, sometimes you don't know how to hack it or how to root it and how to do all these steps that are given to you, and sometimes you can run the risk of breaking your device. So for that reason, having the Play Store already installed from factory is a relief for a lot of you guys. Anyways, here I have installed some benchmarks on the device, like Antutu benchmark, and I got a score of almost 60,000. Now this is not super impressive, but as you guys know, this processor is a power saver, and at the same time it gives you performance, so any game in here is going to work just fine. You can do Ausable 8 or anything equivalent to that particular game, and it should work fine without any hesitations whatsoever. The Mali here is the T880. As you guys can tell, we do have a 1080p display, as I mentioned before. And then here we have more information of the processor in case you guys want to know. We do have the Android 7.0 Nougat, and here we can actually confirm that. Let me go here a little bit more down, I believe. Let me see, there we go. The OS Android 7.0, the SDK version is 24, so that proves that yes, we do have the legit Android Nougat 7.0. Another cool part about this device that I haven't tested on Chinese devices for quite a while is that this time we have a 10-point multi-touch screen. A lot of people don't see it as a big deal, but at least it's better to have it than not having it. Most Chinese devices come with a 5-point multi-touch screen, but here you guys can see that I can go up to so far 7 fingers, and it is working absolutely great, and we can use all 10 fingers at once. And again, this is a cool thing to have, but it is not necessary, and we all know that. So now let's go here into the settings and check them out. First of all, we're going to confirm here the about phone page, and then we can see there that we have the Android 7.0 Nougat once again. Also, let's confirm the RAM and the internal memory by going into storage, I believe. Let's go a little bit higher on here. Sometimes I do get lost because they change it from time to time. So the first one here is called storage, and there we can see 64 gigabytes available, and I have used about 17.12. Then we have the RAM, and that's going to be down here where it says memory. You can see that I have 6 gigabytes in total, and I have used about 1.7 gigabytes, so that's great as well. Going down here to about phone, we can see the Android Nougat 7.0 there once again, and then we have some little features on here like gesture features and stuff like that, and then we have this little round circle, in which I know you guys are going to ask me about. This is like a little assistance in case you guys, you know, like to kill your task directly from here. You can do so. You can put it on gaming mode. You can lock the device and do other things on here, but I personally don't like it. I just decided to talk about it because we can control it here directly from settings, and you guys don't need an app for this, so you can just disable it, and there we go, it has disappeared. I do prefer this method a lot more. The Play Store functions normally like any other device. device, and here we can see that signal problem. And also talking here about the 4G LTE connectivity, I get a much better result when I'm out there on the road. I did completed, you know, a couple tests, and I did some of them inside of the house. So inside I get about 10, maybe 15 if I'm lucky, but then when I go outside, the best one that I got was 46 megabits of download speed. Now this can change from area to area. Sometimes you can get over 100, and that definitely proves that this device does support 4G LTE connectivity here in the USA. The loudspeaker is quite decent. Let's go ahead and here open a video on YouTube, and it's going to be about the projector that I recently reviewed, and you guys will notice that the quality of the loudspeaker is not bad whatsoever. So right now I am waiting here. Let me connect to my Wi-Fi router, as I am going to get much better results. So here we can see my channel in just a moment, and here are my videos. Let me go ahead and play here the one for the AXA M5. 80 lumens. Then I passed it on to my brother. He used it, and the other day he took it out of the drawer, he tested it, and the damn thing still works. Of course, not with the same battery capacity, but that kind of proves that these things have tremendous qualities, and I am super excited, guys, that I have here the M5. Now, AXA is claiming with this particular projector that it is the brightest. In this little sample that you guys just heard, the loudspeaker is not really that bad, guys. It doesn't sound muffled, it doesn't sound blown, but it's not super loud, so it's going to do enough for you guys to listen to, you know, the content you're viewing, but it's not going to be something crazy. I believe, you know, flagship devices do have a much superior loudspeaker, and that is expected for a device that only costs about $210. So remember, guys, this is not a flagship killer. It's just a phone that has, you know, decent specifications, and that it supports 4G LTE bands here in the USA. That's it. So the camera on this device, as I mentioned before, it has dual cameras. One of them is a 13 megapixel sensor, and the other one is an 8 megapixel sensor. It doesn't have optical image stabilization, so when you go out there recording, it is okay. I mean, it's acceptable, and I would say it's a lot better than the Umi DGZ-1 Pro, but it's still, guys, the quality is never going to be like a flagship device, so just expect that. And also, we can only record in 1080p maximum, and if you do have let's say 4K on here, it's going to be interpolated for sure. Let me see if I can actually change that. So far, let me see, I can't change it, but let's go here into video mode, and maybe I can change the recording resolution. Right now we have it at 1080p, and you guys can actually see that the max that we can go is 1080p. Now on the Umi DGZ-1 Pro, we can get an upscale version of basically 1080p, and it will say 4K, but in reality it's not going to be that great, guys, honestly. I mean, the cameras on these two devices are not the main, I would say, the strongest point of the device. Let's just call it that way. So at least we have a camera on here, and you guys saw from that little testing that it is working fine. And here is what I'm talking about, the 3G connectivity. If you guys don't have enough signal, it'll drop down a little bit, but then it'll go right up. Also, if you guys have better signal reception, you will get voice over LTE, which is basically how you call that, HD voice from T-Mobile, and that's definitely great to have that kind of support. So with this being said, guys, I think we have said enough about the Meiigoo M1, and if you guys want a full review, let me know in the comment section below. But basically we have covered, I believe, the most important things about the Meiigoo M1, such as the connectivity with 4G LTE. We also saw the camera, we saw, you know, some of the features included with this device, and so far I can recommend this phone to anybody out there, especially if you're looking for a budget phone, brand new with warranty, and also from a very good website like coolicool.com, then I would definitely recommend this device. But try to get a coupon. If you can get it for about $180 or less, you are getting a steal, guys. Remember, it has 6 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigabytes of internal storage. It comes with a 4,000 milliamp battery that I was able to get throughout the whole entire day. And another phone that has a tremendous battery is the Umi DGZ-1 Pro, which I got from the same website. This phone has a crazy battery. I was able to go 2 full days with T-Mobile using it as my main device for a Bluetooth connectivity. I was doing a lot of phone calls, a lot of web searching, and the phone survived very nicely, at least on the battery side. I would say these two devices are the most impressive ones that I've seen in a very long time from China that have the longest battery. So with this being said, guys, if you have any questions, please just leave your comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you think it was helpful, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys on my next one.